Madam Chair,
Good afternoon, sir.
members, SB 872 authorizes a local law enforcement agency to enter into contracts with private schools, colleges, and universities to provide campus security and law enforcement services. Schools, colleges, and universities throughout the United States have seen a tragic increase in acts of violence and domestic terrorism on their campuses. In 2015 alone, there were 23 shootings on college campuses across the country that caused the deaths of 17 people and injured another 27. SB 872 ensures trained law enforcement officers are able to promptly address an act of violence or domestic terrorism on a campus and is responsible to keep the students safe, the faculty, staff, students, and the public safe while on school or university campuses. Just as local law enforcement can currently contract with public school districts, colleges, and universities to provide on-campus security services, SB 872 will allow a private school, college, or university to also benefit from the professionalism skill offered by trained law enforcement officers should they desire to do so. There is absolutely no opposition to this bill, and the bill has received no votes, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote. We also have witnesses present to testify in favor and support of the bill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members. Very quickly, Lieutenant Wayne Billowit on behalf of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. We are the sponsors of the bill. We brought this forward to Senator Hall because as we were looking at the number of school shootings that have occurred across the country, as Senator Hall mentioned, we realized that we can provide protection services and policing services to public universities and colleges, and we do so with the Los Angeles Community College District. We provide policing services for all 9 of their campuses. But we found there was a gap in the law when it comes to private colleges and universities. And so this is an attempt to try to fix that, make that at least an option for those universities. As you know, some are quite large in many cities that give them that option that if they choose to contract with either a police department or a sheriff's department, that they would be allowed to do so. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Person.
John Lovell on behalf of the California College and University Police Chiefs Association. That organization are all post-certified law enforcement, and they currently provide protection for public campuses. Here's why this is so terribly important. This is about having equal quality of public safety, irrespective of whether a student is at a public or private campus. For example, sexual assaults, unhappily, take place disproportionately in a campus environment. And there are tools that can be used. In what's unique about this crime in a college context is that 80% of the time, the perpetrator is known to the victim. So one of the tools that is used, sheriffs can use it on public campuses, we use it on campuses, is we set up what's called a pretext call, where you get the victim to call the perpetrator, and you can elicit a whole host of admissions and case closed. You can't, the safety personnel on private campuses do not have that option available. So what you have is disparate protection for the students on those campuses. This is a very important bill. We're proud to support it.
Thank you. Next person speaking in support, briefly.
Madam Chair, members, Dan Filizzato on behalf of the Crime Victims Action Alliance for this bill. The crime victims, as it's been noted here, deserve to have the ability to have equal protection and quality of law enforcement services. What is particularly important for victims is that when there are particular sexual assaults, domestic violence incidents on private university campuses where they have a security office, there is not the same reporting requirements on security offices that there are for law enforcement agencies. It is vitally important for campus communities to know the types of activities that are happening on these universities, and if there is a sworn law enforcement officer there are certain requirements that have to be met, whereas with safety officers there's not. So for that reason we ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Other people speaking in support, just your name and your affiliation.
Asha Harris on behalf of the California State Sheriff's Association in support.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. Denisha Boatner on behalf of the California State Association of Counties in support.
Thank you very much. Anybody speaking in opposition to this bill today? Okay, refer back to the members. Okay, that bill's been moved and seconded. Questions? Okay. Mr. Hall, and as you know, I have said none members are free to do what they want. I will not be supporting this bill today. I just feel like if there's an emergency, people already have the ability to be able to call 911. Police officers aren't kept off of campuses to be able to contract them. I just feel like that those are public dollars that are going for private use. So for those reasons, I'll be staying off the bill today. But please, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much.
The motion is do pass. Eggman?
No.
Eggman, no. Waldron? Alejo? Alejo, aye. Bonilla? Chu? Cooley? Cooley, aye. Gaines? Gordon? Gordon, aye. Linder?
Bill needs two more votes.
Okay,
Thank you very
thank you.
much.
Thank you,
Senator
members.
Hall.
Thank you,
Okay, Mr. McGuire. Senator McGuire. Feels like forever since I've seen you, Senator.
That's what I'm saying.
How you doing?
Oh, since last we met, I'm great.
Hey, there we go. First of all, I just want to say how grateful I am to be here today. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Would like to accept all of the committee's proposed amendments. And I do want to take a moment and really mean this. Appreciate the chairwoman's willingness. Have been in and out of her office and did not take her up on the donuts this past time. Your willingness to continue to work with us on the language. So just truly appreciate it, and we'll be accepting the amendments as the committee has presented. Also want to say thank you to your staff. I know that they have been working hard on this bill as well. And as we continue the discussions, as we discussed, looking at what local cities and counties can do while ensuring the oversight that the chairwoman so eloquently stated earlier this afternoon. So thank you so much. We'll just get straight into the bill.
Okay.
SB 1233, the bill will allow to finance energy upgrades, to allow residents to finance energy upgrades in their homes, which will significantly reduce their energy footprint and save significant dollars on a monthly basis on their utility bills. Californians will be able to upgrade the energy efficient hot water systems, gray water systems, high efficiency toilets, aerators, hot water recirculation pumps, irrigation controllers, commercial dishwashers, and several other efficiency measures on their water utility bills, including removing their water hog lawns and replacing the turf with drought-tolerant landscapes. This legislation, modeled after a wildly successful program in Northern California, will provide local governments and disadvantaged communities all throughout the Golden State tools to be able to fund their water savings projects for those customers who choose to voluntarily participate in the program, thus helping the state achieve its continued goal of reducing its water use and, of course, energy use as well. For many residents, the upfront costs of installing energy and water efficiency improvements often create a barrier that prevents property owners and low-income residents from making the needed improvements. Furthermore, municipal utilities and local governments lack a suitable mechanism to meet the challenge of creating and funding large-scale and rapidly deployable programs to facilitate widespread adoption of customer-side water efficiency projects. The way the program would work is simple. 2 points here. The authority will issue bonds and then issue payments for approved projects once completed. So what we know is 6 states and throughout communities in the Bay Area, $18 million worth of projects have been deployed. The average size project is about $950. The customer will pay their monthly bill that includes a line item for efficiency measures. So, for example, in the town of Windsor, in my backyard, under the program, the average family will pay $6 on the efficiency utility charge and save an average of $20 every month, equaling a net savings of $14 after you minus the $6 that they're paying off their efficiency charges for. This is a proven program that has been successfully rolled out in 3 jurisdictions throughout California, Windsor, Hayward, and all throughout the East Bay Municipal Water District. Additionally, the model that we're proposing is currently operating in 13 utilities in 6 states using federal loan funds or utility capital. To date, these programs have funded over $18 million in projects and collectively seen only $3,000 in default, which is less than 0.02% of total. This bill will create a broad-scale regional response to California's water supply issues by adding Section 6588 of the California Government Code to extend existing Marks Roos Local Bond Pooling Act authority to JPAs to fund utility projects and apply that model to customer water efficiency projects installed on private property and paid for by voluntary participants. And again, it will be for both homeowners and renters. About 70% of those in California are renters. The legislation would enable JPAs, they have to get the permission of the landlord first, though. The legislation would enable JPAs to fund project installation with pooled revenue bonds with debt service provided through meter charges aggregated from participating properties rather than all ratepayers. So if you are paying in, you pay the cost. If you don't, you're not paying. Just like a charge for water service, individual meter charges are tied to the specific efficiency services delivered at the meter location. Under this bill, and this is wrapping up here, Madam Chair, meter charges are designed to be less than the estimated utility bill, and that is why I gave you the town of Windsor. We have a very broad coalition, Madam Chair, on this bill. SB 1233 is supported by the California Association of Realtors, California Chamber of Commerce, the Sierra Club, the California Apartment Association, the Association of Area Governments, the Building Industry Association, the Business Properties Association. I will stop talking right now. I have with me today Keith Dunn on behalf of the California Apartment Association, as well as Jerry Lar, who's the Energy Programs Manager for the Association of Bay Area Governments. And we'll turn it over, if it's okay, to Mr. Lar from
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. My name is Jerry Lar. I'm here on behalf of the Bay Area Regional Energy Network and the Association of Bay Area Governments. SB 1233 comes as a result of our current work in the Bay Area to develop a model for water utilities to finance the installation of efficiency improvements on behalf of customers at no upfront cost to be paid for over time with an efficiency fee collected from participating customers that is less than their cost savings. This model, as the Senator mentioned, is underway now and working in communities in the Bay Area. SB 1233 will encourage investments in cost-effective water efficiency projects by allowing the voluntary participation in on-bill financing and by establishing comprehensive consumer protections that will ensure ratepayers who ultimately back the debt service are protected from financial risk. In fact, ratepayers will experience a net reduction in financial risk within this model as participating customers pay to reduce systems inefficiency and exposure to high marginal water supply costs. SB 1233 will allow California to continue to lead our nation as the first state to create the specific authority to utilize revenue bonds for customer water efficiency financing. We are grateful for your consideration on this innovative legislation that provides local governments the ability to respond to water use reductions and the potential for ongoing droughts throughout our state. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, committee members. Keith Dunn on behalf of the California Apartment Association. Pleased to be here and support the Pay As You Save program. Is a great opportunity for renters, owners, in fact, all of our citizens to help comply and save water as we continually face an ongoing drought. We think it's a great opportunity to reduce those costs as you do it. We'd ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Others speaking in support, name and affiliation, please.
Madam Chair, the members, Paul Yoder on behalf of the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors in support.
Good afternoon. Jamie Go on behalf of the Sonoma County Water Agency in support.
Erin Guerrero on behalf of the California Building Industry Association in support.
Gabrielle First on behalf of Sierra Club California in support.
Valerie Nair for the California Chamber of Commerce in support.
Helen Roth Dowden from Nexus Water. This is a great bill in support.
Kim Scherner on behalf of Stop Waste in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, people speaking in opposition to this bill today. Seeing none. Questions, comments from the committee? Move the bill. Second. Got a move and a second. It's going so well for you, Senator.
Hey.
And I appreciate you taking the amendments. As people on this committee will recall, we just had a big oversight hearing on PACE, and so we wanted to make sure we weren't recreating something that we were going to be scrambling later to try to address, which is why we asked for some amendments with the DWR doing some oversight to make sure those people are getting that $14 an hour, to make sure actually what they're getting is actually saving them money. Because as we all know, we pass with very well-intentioned laws, but sometimes you get out to Home Depot and you got people trying to sell you all kinds of things really quick to put on your bill. You don't have to pay anything now, and we know how that goes. So thank you for accepting that, and I know you want to continue to work on kind of what the structure of the oversight looks like. But I appreciate the work and certainly the intent behind this. Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. Alejo. Alejo, aye. Bonilla. Chu. Cooley. Cooley, aye. Gaines. Gordon. Gordon, aye. Linder.
You still need one more. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, very much for all your time.
Thank you very much. We have up next. Mr. Laura is here. Senator Laura, you? Miss Pavley has been waiting. Oh, what a gentleman. Senator Pavley.
He's my seatmate, so he has to be nice.
He's worried about you pinching him later.
Uh-oh.
Senator, you have 1262, which does enjoy a due pass recommendation.
And I will keep it brief with that. And this was heard in the other Assembly Committee the other day, Water Parks and Wildlife, bipartisan support, no votes. And with the amends taken on June 15th, there's no opposition to this bill. This bill just narrowly looks at the interconnecting laws between water supply availability and land use decisions, builds off past bills from former Senators Costa and Kuehl, is consistent with the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Bill.
Thank you. Bill's been moved and seconded. Other people speaking in support today.
Madam Chairman, members, Bob Reed with Reed Government Relations on behalf of the Valley Ag Water Coalition and Desert Water Agency in support. This is a very important bill to help us kind of thread the needle on groundwater policy and housing policy to make sure that one doesn't trump the other. Very important, and we strongly encourage an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Other people?
Gabrielle First, on behalf of the Sierra Club California, in support.
Thank you.
Trudy Schaefer for the League of Women Voters of California, in support.
Thank you very much. Anybody speaking in opposition to this bill today? Okay, that bill's been moved and seconded. Senator, would you like to close?
Appreciate your support for this measure and ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Secretary. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass and be referred to the Committee on Appropriations. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. Alejo. Alejo, aye. Bonilla. Chu. Cooley. Gaines. Gordon. Gordon, aye. Linder.
Bill needs two more to get out, Senator. Thank you very much. Did Senator Lara go far?
No, he's right here.
Oh,
See
great.
how quick I was? Did I say welcome back to you?
Senator Lara has 4 bills before us today.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa.
Thank you for letting me go first. That would have been painful.
You should thank.
953, do you starting with?
Thank you. I am trying to get a lot of work done. It's always an honor to be before your committee, Madam Chairwoman.
Sucking up helps.
Should I begin with SB 953?
Yeah, please.
Great, thank you. Last year, Madam Chair and members, in response to local complaints and media reports that brought public attention to questionable behaviors and actions, I joined with other members of the legislature to request an audit of the Central Basin Water District's Board. SB 953 would implement recommendations made by the state auditor to improve the transparency and accountability for the board. The key findings in the auditor's report included inconsistent leadership, a lack of strategic planning and oversight, poor contracting practices, at times when a competitive bidding process would have been much more cost-effective for the district, the board inappropriately sole-source contracts, creating more unnecessary costs. Currently, the board is made up of 5 members elected by the voters within the district boundary. The bill preserves the board seats, but adds 2 additional seats appointed by the LA County Board of Supervisors. Those appointees must live within the district and have a working knowledge of water industry and the role of the district. In addition to restructuring the board, SB 953 limits sole source contracting to emergency circumstances and only with prior written justification. To improve transparency, the bill also requires the general manager to submit a quarterly report to the board detailing the district's contracts. I know, as you all know, Ms. Garcia,
My hometown assembly member is also working on similar legislation. We are continuing to have very productive conversations about the two bills. Members, SB 953 seeks to bring much needed and long overdue reforms to the Central Basin Board that will ultimately provide a long-term stability and viability and be able to cut back costs for our constituents who are already strapped with really high water bills. So respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Who will speak in support today?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, committee members. My name is Joseph Legospi, Director of External Affairs for the Central Basin Municipal Water District, here on behalf of the Board of Directors to express our support of amended position for Senate Bill 953 by Senator Lara. As you know, the district was the subject of an audit by the California State Auditor. The audit provided 32 recommendations related to governance, transparency, operations, and financial stability. Within 6 months of the public release of that report, the district has already addressed 87% of the recommendation and anticipates that all recommendations will be addressed by the end of this calendar year. In light of the leadership and commitment of Senator Lara to government ethics and reform, as well as his thoughtful legislative proposal on Central Basin governance, we wanted to offer our general support for the bill with respect and also with respect to offer a couple of amendments. Adding a 5-year water industry experience requirement for appointees, modifying language to state that the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors shall select 2 appointees from a list of 5 recommendations from our retail water agencies there in the Central Basin, and also adding a 8-year sunset provision. The district and Senator Lara's office have been in communications on our suggested amendments, and in fact, based on some counter amendments they have offered, our staff has requested that the board update its position to full support. We thank you for your time and look forward to working with Senator Lara, your committee staff, so that the Central Basin may continue to move forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Anybody else speaking in support of this bill today? Anybody speaking in opposition?
Move the bill.
Bill's been moved and seconded, and I would just echo what you began with, that your assembly member's got a bill also that deals with the same thing that I believe has also the support of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. So at some point, these two bills need to come together, and I appreciate all of you really working to address the kind of corruption and problems that we've seen in the Central Basin Water District. Okay.
Thank you.
Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass, and we refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. Alejo. Alejo, aye. Bonilla. Chu. Cooley. Aye. Cooley, aye. Gaines. Gordon. Aye. Gordon, aye. Linder.
Need more? One more. Senator.
Thank you. Next, I have SB 958. Thank you, Madam Chair and members. In 2008, California voters approved Proposition 11, the ballot initiative that established a statewide Citizens Redistricting Commission. The initiative, as you all know, placed the power to draw electoral boundaries for the Assembly and Senate districts through an independent, nonpartisan Citizens Redistricting Commission. SB 958 would establish an independent redistricting commission for the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, modeled after the successful statewide commission. And I do understand the concerns about local control, and I share in the respect and preserving local control. However, I would like to explain my reasoning behind our approach. Madam Chairwoman, we can all agree that LA County is extremely unique. The county is the largest county in the country with over 10 million residents. The county contains more than 1/4 of all California residents and is one of the most ethnically diverse counties in the United States of America. Its population is larger than 41 U.S. states. In 1990, a U.S. district judge ordered the redrawing of the LA County district lines, declaring that the Board of Supervisors at the time had blatantly attempted to hold onto power at the expense of underrepresented groups in the county. The Department of Justice was tasked with redrawing the district lines. Due to the 2010 statewide redistricting efforts, civil rights organizations and CBOs in Los Angeles were spread thin and were unable to fully engage in the county process. As a result, they pleaded with the county for additional time to engage and were provided with only 2 weeks before the final lines were approved. Although there were no lawsuits filed in response to the 2010 county redistricting process, there were numerous complaints filed with the Department of Justice urging the review of the lines. Additionally, it took a voting rights lawsuit to create the first Latino majority district on the board more than 20 years ago. Currently, only 5 of the supervisorial districts has a population that is more than 50% Latino, and perhaps as a result, only 1 of the 5 supervisors is Latino. And even though Latinos account for 34% of the county's voting age citizenship and nearly half of the total population of the county, our growing Asian population has never had an API LA County supervisor. Additionally, over the years, many organizations and nonprofits and civil rights groups have tried to sue the board over the current redistricting process, but have failed to raise enough money to fund a long and expensive court battle. Additionally, LA County is the only large county left in California without an independent, with some sort of independent, transparent redistricting process. For Angelinos, it is important we ensure LA County has a district and a board that truly reflects the diversity of the most diverse county in the United States. An independent redistricting commission represents an unprecedented opportunity to shape a new redistricting process, one that puts the needs of voters above interest of a select few. Having political districts drawn so that communities of interest are respected and protected will result in a greater representative voice in the county's political process. It is my intention to continue to work with the groups who have championed our state redistricting process as this bill moves forward. I already have incorporated many of their amendments into this bill, including the post-service restriction for commissioners and timing accessibility of commission hearings. I understand redistricting is complicated by a variety of factors, including the self-interest of incumbents as well as the racial politics of a highly diverse and continuously changing county. An independent, transparent, and fair redistricting process by a Citizens Redistricting Commission will guarantee that the only five elected officials with the daunting responsibility of governing nearly 10 million people truly reflect the diversity of LA County. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. First person speaking in support, briefly.
Madam Chair and members, I'm Trudy Schaefer, representing the League of Women Voters of California, in strong support of SB 958. The League was one of the proponents of the original Proposition 11 that brought us the State Citizens Redistricting Commission, and SB 958 follows the 3 precepts that we incorporated into that and that we've been sharing with people all around the country, in fact. A very strong, transparent process, fair, strict criteria for the drawing of the boundaries of the districts, and an independent commission, primarily, an independent commission, preferably with diverse membership, and have it be representative of the public at large and protective of minority group interests. SB 958, as you have heard, follows Proposition 11 in many of its criteria and its processes. We're very pleased with the content of the measure, and we'll note that what it really will do is allow Los Angeles County to be a model for the whole nation. We're pleased, as the Senator has said, that he has taken several amendments that we had asked for in terms of giving restrictions to the post-service activities of commissioners and of making the actual process more accessible to those people who should give public input. So as a result, we think that SB 958 reforms the redistricting process for the largest county in the state, and by doing that is setting us up as a model for representative democracy in the entire state.
Thank you very much. Next person speaking in support.
Jeanette Sanipatin, Legislative Attorney on behalf of MALDEF, the Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund. I'm also here in strong support of this measure. As Senator Lara mentioned, there have been several efforts by folks to either file a lawsuit directly to try to get Los Angeles County to create these other seats to ensure that the county has representatives or can have representatives of different communities, but also those communities of interest, with particular the Latino and the African American community. MALDEF was responsible for the lawsuit that led to the first creation of the first Latino district in Los Angeles County. As a result of the Garza lawsuit that was filed, we were able to go ahead and redistrict and create that first Latino district. I think what's really critical to understand is that absent either court litigation or some oversight by the DOJ, the county has been reluctant to move in this direction, despite the fact that we have such high numbers to potentially create even a second Latino district at this stage. And so for those reasons, although we totally believe in local control and understand the need for community input, I think this bill strikes a really great balance in terms of ensuring that we do have diversity on this commission, that the commission has an extreme amount of transparency as well as accountability. I think another reason that we're supporting it is, after the court litigation and after we came up with some, MALDEF also participated in redrawing some maps back in 2010, despite our work and having to do some of the redistricting at the state level and also participating in LA County. Without, like I said, the consent, having some oversight by the DOJ or court litigation, we ended up without having a new district created after the 2010 census. And we all know, the 2012 election definitely demonstrated the growth of different ethnic communities and the need to be responsive to these communities. And for all those reasons, we are here in strong support of this bill.
Thank you very much. Next person speaking in support.
No, come on. Just do it.
Anybody else in support? Okay, members, people speaking in opposition.
Yes, Madam Chair, members, good afternoon. David Wolf with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, opposed to this bill. I'm not sure why our letter didn't get in the committee analysis, but we are opposed. Members, let me just say, first of all, that we're happy with how SB 958 parallels Prop 11 and the California Citizens Redistricting Initiative in a lot of ways. The number of commissioners is the same, being registered to vote in LA County, the same political affiliation for 5 years, not having run or held office for 10 years, and a requirement that you need to vote in recent elections. All those things do parallel Prop 11 in this bill, and all those things are good. However, there is one important difference that leads to our opposition today. Prop 11 said the 14 commissioners largely needed to be broken up by party, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 4 independent and declined to state commissioners. This bill sets that number proportionate to the population. And in our view, if the 5-5-4 partisan distinction is good enough for California, it should be good enough for its largest county, which is LA. So if we got that amendment, we'd be happy to come off the bill, but in the meantime, ask for a no vote.
Thank you very much. Anybody else speaking in opposition to this bill today? Questions, comments from the committee? Ms. Waldron.
Thank you. I didn't know who would be best to answer. The San Diego commission that was set up was made up of retired judges.
Correct.
And the California state is made up of 5 Republicans, 5 Dems, and 4 basically independent type people. What was wrong with those models that you chose differently? It's just kind of a general question.
No, absolutely. And I can answer that because we've been going back and forth. The ideal here would be to make it fair. The issues that we've heard with the current state commission is that by selecting the commissioners by party preference, they come already with the party hat. And so it becomes very interesting that we've heard cases of where different commissioners from different parties were trading different districts and were really using their party hat to make decisions. And so we think the fairest way possible is to make it proportional to what the population is. And so we're trying to strike that balance, and quite honestly right now we're in discussions with the governor's office to see what is the best approach that their office sees fit. But it's something that we haven't been opposed to, but we've been getting reports from the folks that either served on the commission and some of the folks that have reviewed the commission's work. It becomes very tricky when you start assigning political affiliations to commissioners and then having them already coming in with that party hat on. And so those are things that we're still continuing to work out with some of our folks that have really championed the redistricting commission process.
Anything else from committee members? Would you like to close, Senator?
Thank you, Assemblywoman, Madam Chairwoman. I really, again, want to just reiterate, I understand the concerns with local control, but given the sketchy history that we've had in LA County, to really try to get them to do a transparent, independent process to elect Alley County supervisors, which these supervisors are some of the most powerful individuals in the country, that they truly reflect the new diversity and the new reality in Alley County. And so with that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
And so I did a non-reco just because this is local government committee, and it feels inappropriate to say an aye reco on a bill that usurps power from local government. Although I will be supporting your bill today if you should get a motion and a second.
Thank you.
All right, the bill has been moved and seconded. Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass and re-refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. No. Waldron, no. Alejo. Aye. Alejo, aye. Bonilla. Aye. Bonilla, aye. Chu. Cooley. Gaines. Gordon. Aye. Gordon, aye. Linder.